You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Sunday the 29th of March, 2026. It is 9 days after the spring equinox. It is 84 days before the summer solstice. By the Western Christian calendar, today is Palm Sunday, the beginning of Holy Week. Today is the 30th day of the American and Israeli war against Iran and Lebanon. The sun rises today at 6:44 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:17 p.m., civil twilight ends at 7:45 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 8:18 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 41 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 88% full at midday. The moon sets today at 5:08 a.m., and then it rises again at 3:55 p.m. The full moon will arrive on Wednesday, the 1st of April. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 2:08 a.m., 18 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 9:26 a.m., 1 meter 43. In the afternoon, low tide, 3:38 p.m., 6 centimeters. At night, high tide, 9:56 p.m., 1 meter 46. In our shared realm of plants and animals, dogwood trees have come into flower. These small trees are not very common street trees, although there are a number planted along the neighborhood streets. They are more common in parks and in people's yards. Isn't it interesting that the first trees to come to life in spring put out their flowers first? One tends to think of flowers as delicate, but in fact trees wait longer to put out their leaves until all chance of frost has passed. So think how hardy those dogwood flowers are, along with crocuses, daffodils, and cherry blossoms. Commemorations. An anniversary to ponder. On this day in 1516, the Venetian Republic ordered that Jews living in Venice be confined to a ghetto in the Cannaregio district. The gates to the ghetto were closed each night and reopened in the morning. This was the first Jewish ghetto in Europe. On this day in 1848, Niagara Falls completely stopped flowing. An ice jam at the source of the Erie River, which feeds the falls, cut off the water entirely, and the falls went dry. It lasted for 30 hours. It was eerily silent. Some intrepid souls walked out onto the dry riverbed above and below the lip of the falls. Then, with a massive roar, the dam broke, and a wall of water cresting to a great height curved down the riverbed and crashed over the falls, and Niagara's flow was restored. A sad anniversary. On this day in 1912, the Antarctic explorer, Captain Robert Falcon Scott, made the last entry in his diary. Scott had led an expedition to be the first to reach the South Pole, but when he actually arrived, he discovered he had been beaten to the pole by just a few weeks by the Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen. Scott and his men were on their return journey when bad weather and a missed rendezvous doomed them. His last diary entry reads thus: "I do not think we can hope for any better things now. We shall stick it out to the end, but we are getting weaker, of course, and the end cannot be far." The diary was found the next year, near the bodies of Scott and his companions. On this day in 1973, the last United States combat soldiers left South Vietnam. It was the end of our armed involvement in that tragic war. On this day in 1982, the Canada Act received the royal assent from Elizabeth II, the Queen of Canada. It made Canada's constitution fully independent of Great Britain. This took place on the anniversary of the 1867 British North America Act, which had first established the Federal Dominion of Canada under Queen Victoria. Hat tip to our Canadian neighbors. To all who observe Palm Sunday today and walk the way of the cross in anticipation of Easter, we wish you a blessed Holy Week. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 29th of March, 2026.